for hanging out. Definitely appreciate it. Welcome to the Smoking Raptors podcast. Today with me, I've got Beautykiss, Zombie Babe 0420, and we've also got our special guest, fitness instructor / writer, Amanda Jordan, also the owner of Mighty Great Fitness. So we're going to go ahead and ask her some questions today, and at the end of the stream, we're going to go ahead and talk about how there's pros and cons to smoking and exercising and doing all that stuff. So with that being said, guys, make sure to drop a follow to Zombie Babe 0420 on Twitch. Same thing with Beautykiss. They're both on there. And then also make sure to go check out my website, rex420.com, for some merch. You guys can get shirts, beanies, stickers. I ordered some stress balls that are coming in soon. And I also have some little tight shirts coming out with some GG emblems. You guys can find those down below if you're a sub. And also make sure to use my promo code rex_420 at fadegrips.store. Get 20% off on your first purchase for analog stick grips, controller skins, and apparel. Definitely go check them out. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I think that's going to go ahead and start us off. So we'll go ahead and jump on into this. Let's see if I can go ahead and get... Alright, we are good to go. We are started. Intros are done. Someone is dying. Okay.
See if I can read your lips when you're talking. Figure out what you're at.
Well, the thing is I can still hear you as I'm doing my intro. So, like, when you're sitting here, like, going off, I'm, like, literally getting sidetracked off of everything else. So I'm, like, sitting here trying to remember what the last thing I said was.
Hey, you said we could talk this time. You told 3 women we could talk this time.
Alright, let me make sure that I got everything going here.
Sorry, I just took a pretty big dab, so
Okay,
I might have a little bit of trouble following
getting all
along.
the music set up right now, so just give me 2 seconds.
1, 2. You lost the game.
Alright, so with us today, we got Amanda Jordan, like I said, fitness instructor / writer, also the owner of Mighty Great Fitness. If you guys have any questions for her, just feel free to drop them in the chat below, and yeah, we'll go and get this started. So, where can everybody find you? Hell.
I think the best place to find me would be on my website, which is mightygreatfitness.com. But I'm on pretty much, all social medias from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me there as well. But my website's probably the best thing. You can, send me an email and everything.
Right, for sure. Do you have any social medias or like what are your like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that?
So if you're looking for me like on Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook, it's just that exactly, like facebook.com/mightygreatfitness. If you're looking for me on Twitter, then it's actually AJ Jordan Pro. And that's just because that's like our hub company there above everything. So I share everything on there, not just the fitness stuff.
Right. Okay, so I'm waiting for Allie to get back. She's like gone.
Yeah, like I see a chair.
Right. Also looking for.
Get rid of child.
I don't have. I had a specific question. I don't even remember what it was now.
So I know it's kind of, I haven't been paying attention to when we're supposed to plan things, Rex, but I do have a question. I am very interested about like all of the things that you do, like in general. Like what type of books do you write?
Sarah, that's a question if you read them.
I tried to get on Discord and read it, but nothing was popping up. So I was like, well, okay.
They're all
It was one
there.
of my original questions.
So do you want me to answer that one or wait?
Well,
I mean, whatever works. I'm just at.
Well, because it was gonna go like your author stuff, and then it was gonna go your fitness stuff. So like,
Okay.
yeah. So the first question was, how long have you been an author? That was the first one.
Since 2016.
This is 2016.
Yeah.
So 5 years now.
Yeah.
Hey,
I started writing the year before that, but my first book came out in 2016.
Right. So the next question was Sarah's. Am I? Do
Now
I
do I
gotta
ask
read
my
all of these? Like,
hey, I tried to go into Discord and it didn't show me anything, and it cut out my video. So
I posted it.
I tried.
The next
I have a baby.
question, which was supposed to be from Sarah, which was, how did you manage to get published?
So I'm actually self-published. I did that. It was kind of a toss in the air of really searching for a publisher. I spoke to many other authors who had done self-publishing and also been published by other, companies, and they all agreed that self-publishing was the best way to go, and you make the most money. So all of my books are self-published.
How did you
Oh,
learn how to
nice.
do all that?
I didn't even know you could.
So I attended. There's actually a school out there called the Self-Publishing School, and I think it's self-publishing companies on anyway. But yeah, so they're like, I think it's that self-publishing school. Anyway, so I attended that for a little bit to basically kind of learn how to do it. But I also have a friend who is an author, and she was self-published as well. So she kind of held my hand at the beginning and really kind of showed me the ropes and stuff like that.
Right. So the next question goes to Allie, who is currently muted.
She's frozen.
Yeah.
There she is.
Sorry, I went to go unmute it and then my phone like freaked out. I was like, oh god.
Oh.
And then it freezes.
God, what's happening? I have to.
Hey, usually it's
Well.
my iPhone that sucks.
It probably froze because I was.
See, and I was worried about mine.
I think it's freezing because I'm trying to go back to look at the questions. It won't let me do that. It keeps freezing me.
So the next question was, who inspired you to write?
That's a good question, actually. I think even since I was a kid, I always kind of loved making up stories and stuff like that. So I knew that there was some part of me that wanted to do writing. It's just kind of always been a part of it, even, from my kids at a young age, just, finding me kind of crazy with my wild and crazy made up, nursery rhymes because I couldn't remember the real one. So I would just create my own and, which maybe messed with them a little as they got older and didn't quite understand why they didn't match up. And I had to come clean and be like, oh yeah, so all those stories I've told you, that's me, sorry. And so, I always kind of had that. And so I really wanted to go into writing and everything. And then I found this one book that I loved and contacted the author, and she was awesome. And I just I think I just always wanted to write. So I don't know if that was necessarily inspired, maybe by myself, I guess.
So, in other words, you lied to your children?
I made up make-believe stories and made them sound interesting.
Okay.
She's like, I improved them.
Whatever helps
That's
you
right.
sleep
I
at
made them
night.
better.
Technically, the stories she tells are real stories. They've been published, so she's not lying to you now.
Well, no, they haven't. There's a couple nursery rhymes out there that still need their justice, but
Well, and I did realize that because I have ADHD, that my stories wander. So I'm not so great at fiction writing because, it might start with this cute little pony, jumping over a rainbow, and the next thing you know, it's about a spider eating something, and they're all over the place. And so I don't stay on track very well. So I realized that fiction wasn't the greatest thing.
Seriously, I would read a series like that. If a pony turned into a spider and started eating shit, I'd be all about that book.
Well, look at that. You found your new book for 2022.
I did, yeah.
Right. I like books like that.
So what are your goals with like the fitness and being an author? Like,
I think my goals are basically to be able to combine the two. My next project is actually I'm taking the very first book that I wrote, and I'm making it like a second edition. I'm going to add some stuff into it. My first book was called Loving the Real You, and that was the idea was about learning to love yourself like who you are on the inside, not caring what you matter, like what you look like on the outside. And one of the things is that, I just graduated with my degree in creative writing, and so I've become a much better writer over the last few years, and so I knew that I could make this book better. But I also think that helps fit in with the fitness and the whole mind health thing. So I'm actually going to add some of that and make it a second edition, change the cover and all that. So really, I want to be able to combine both, is be able to have all of my stuff out there in writing that, I do with the fitness stuff.
right.
Oh, I don't like that.
So what was your favorite book that you wrote? Like, out of all the books that you've written and everything throughout the last 5 years, what was your favorite?
So it's probably kind of a cross between, so before I was doing the fitness, what I was writing, I wrote a few different things, but I was really focused on travel for a while. And I wrote, basically like a budget travel book for couples who were on a romantic getaway. And it just came together so nicely. I think it was probably one of the first books I wrote that I just looked at that and went, wow. So it's a cross between that and then the one I just did. And so this newest project I did is I just finished, it's a fitness and health planner. Actually, I have it. And it literally, it turned out beautiful. It's colorful, and it's probably my favorite, actually. Cool. Now that I think about it, as I hold it, it probably is this one. And so, yeah, it was kind of a cross between the two, but really the planner is one of the hardest ones that I've had to create, and less writing. So I guess that's probably why I kind of go back and forth between the two of them. But yeah, so those would be it.
Gotcha. Let's see what was the next one. Oh, what is your favorite form of writing?
Maybe I don't know. I maybe be a tad bit more specific on my favorite form. You mean nonfiction, self-help type stuff?
Yeah, genre, I guess.
So I guess that would probably be my favorite type is the self-help, really that fitting that nonfiction thing. I think that's probably it. When I was in school, I was learning to write all sorts of things from comic books to scripts to short stories and all of that stuff. And it really kind of branched me out into stuff that I was not familiar with. And I thought I was going to hate it, but I ended up loving writing the screenplays and the scripts for, class. And kind of getting into that fictional, almost dramatic kind of dark side, which sounds really funny because that's not really my personality. So it kind of shows that there's a little of that inside of me, with my creativeness. And so that was interesting to see that I do actually like writing that. But yeah, I think my, I prefer the self-help, the nonfiction stuff, because I get to be me, and help other people versus just writing the story.
What are you doing?
Which one?
They're both just wandering.
Well, I've got this, and I'm trying to make a choice between this.
Don't put the Jack in there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm partially
Like, I don't know what you're
listening
drinking, but it
for a
looks
child
sweet.
while doing some chores because
apple.
I took a really big dab, so I do chores when I
But we're doing a podcast.
keeps my hands busy doing something purposeful.
You're like, hey.
But I can still talk and do that.
Swear to God, guys.
Tennessee apple would go good with lemonade.
I'm still paying attention. I just have to keep.
Hey, I'm getting my drink for the podcast, okay?
Can get the drink, but couldn't get the questions.
I have my drink.
Yeah.
Have you considered having a book club?
So, I'm really kind of confused by this question, to be honest. When I think of book club, I think of like, you know, like all those women who get together and they read a book like once a week and then share it with each other. So I don't know if that's what you mean. I guess I will elaborate.
In a sense, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't
Like,
thought
kind
about
of,
it.
like, yeah, like, it doesn't need to be, like, in person or anything, but, like, even virtually, like, taking, like, a whole bunch of people, like, all over, whatever, you know, and, like...
I lost her. I like something.
Yeah, she froze.
you know, in a sense of, like, you know, getting together in your home and doing the book club or whatever, but, like, what?
You're freezing, like,
Yeah.
consistently.
I think I get what she's saying, though. Basically, yeah, like if it was either like a virtual thing where it would be like a bunch of people and we talk about the book and stuff like that. I think that's not a bad idea. Honestly, it's not anything I've ever thought of.
Get together on a scheduled time.
Right.
I heard not anything I thought of, and then you cut out.
Am I the one cutting out? Because I think she's cutting out.
No, you stopped talking. She thought you cut out.
Oh. I was trying to wait for her to catch up.
Yeah, no, like her phone is just like lagging behind. I don't know what the hell is happening.
But yes,
And on my end, it
something I
doesn't
never
show
thought
me
about, but
lagging
it's
at
not
all.
a bad idea at all. It's one of those.
There we go. Okay.
Use a pineapple.
Okay.
Okay, so was that we done with the book club question? Was that the end of that?
I've never had this before.
I think so.
I had like a whole bunch of questions, but
And then she cuts out again.
I think she.
I like texted them all.
Yeah, maybe if she sits, it'll be better.
Yeah, you texted them to me, and then I put them in the Discord. Like the whole line of questions that it was.
All of them?
Yeah, the whole order of everything. They're all in the Discord. Just like it is every week.
Yeah, but I was meaning we can talk about them.
Alright, so the next question was, what are some of the best workouts for weed smokers? So basically, if I smoke pot, what's the best exercise I could do that's not gonna, like, murder me?
Well, see, that's kind of two different questions. Because personally, I would say if you're somebody who smokes a lot, then one of the best exercises is going to be cardio. It's going to be really like getting your heart rate up there, because it's going to help you kind of start hacking and clearing out your lungs a little bit. So, will you feel like you're dying? Yes. Those are a little different. You know, if you're looking for, you know, workouts where you can kind of keep going, and you do realize, you know, that I think we would probably go for anybody who has some kind of like, you know, asthma or, you know, is a smoker. You kind of all fit in that same kind of category. You know, then you'd be looking at more like strength training, you know, really the lifting weights and stuff, things where it'll help you burn those calories throughout the day, even after you've stopped. But
Right.
you're not killing yourself at the one time. You know, you do your strength training, your weights and stuff, and then you stop and take a break, do it again, you know. So yeah, so I'm saying it's kind of two different questions.
It's so funny because just as you like brought up the strength training and everything like that, Oxy Tony comes in here and he goes weightlifting. Like he literally was just like weightlifting. That's it right there.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, either cardio or weightlifting. Got it. All right. Let's see. Who is Mighty Great Fitness for? Like, who is it? Who's your consumer?
My target audience basically would be women. And so, and honestly, this might sound kind of funny, but I say this, you know, my motto basically is, you know, helping real women lose real weight. And so I get that question a lot, like, well, what is a real woman? And yeah, in some cases it kind of sounds almost negative, and it's really not. But when I say that is that, you know, 90% of the women born out there are not a size 2 and look like a supermodel.
Right.
You know, those women are very few and far between. And so when I say a real woman, it's that thing, you know, we are these women, we've had children, we've, you know, have excess weight. Maybe it wasn't always easy to lose weight. You know, maybe we have some excess skin. There's things like that. You know, it's more about taking, you know, what we have and becoming healthy. It's not about trying to look like a size 2 supermodel, because that's ridiculous. It's a very weird goal. It's not something people should be looking to do unless you are a supermodel, I guess. Right. So, yeah, that's the idea, is that it's basically helping real women be healthy.
What a way to end that game. That was a nice spot that you're in there, OG.
Chest.
Yeah.
Are you eating a
Do some
taco?
cardio. Huh?
No, she bought.
Just
Are you
keep
eating
in
a
mind,
taco?
I always scan that area first.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
I'm
she
in
is
off
eating a
work,
taco.
that's
What
my
the
hill.
shit?
I always
I was
make
like,
sure that
fuck.
It's actually a chalupa.
I love tacos.
I am. I'm not responsible for the things I do.
Are there?
I love that Allie has the same idea.
I was like, what are you eating? Like,
Yeah, she's eating pizza. She's eating a taco. We're having a podcast about fitness. You guys are over here eating fucking like.
We're learning about it. It doesn't mean I know about it already. You're
This
smoking.
is what happens. This is what happens when I bring a fitness instructor to the Smoking Raptors podcast, right? Like, this is just like, keep talking.
You guys make
Donut.
me
Like,
I am interested in it. I'm just also hungry. And I-
For real.
so Sarah asked this question: are there different types of workouts more suited for different body types?
oh, for sure. You probably want more specifics on that. Like, yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, honestly, you know, we're all different. Every body type is different. We all, you know, burn things differently. So, a lot of times it really is. It's kind of finding what works for you. And my thought really isn't so much about what kind of workout it is finding what you enjoy doing. One of the things I hear people say all the time is, "Oh, I hate working out," and I tell them, well, they're not doing it right. You know, if you think that I hate working out, I don't like this, and you haven't found one that you like doing. There are tons of different hobbies. One of the things I found personally a couple years ago, I found that I love hiking. Never would have thought about it. Not big. I don't like to really go for walks and things like that. I'll get on the treadmill. I get bored, you know, but I still do it, but I get bored, you know. However, I can go hiking and burn tons of calories, get miles in, and I've just had a great time. You know, I'm with nature. It's great. Kayaking, I love that. Great arm, you know, working your arms when you're doing kayaking.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different things that you can do. So a lot of times I wouldn't really say like, oh, you know, you need to find this specific type of workout. You just need to do something. That's the idea, is to staying active. You know, a lot of times we get into that, you know, kind of that sedentary life where we're just like watching TV and we're playing on our phones and, you know, things like that. And we quit moving. And that's one of the biggest mistakes, is our body's got to keep moving.
That's
We
the
got to
big
be
thing,
burning
like,
calories.
the gaming community too. Like,
Yeah, even like the gaming and stuff like that. If one of these days I'm gonna have him over here like gaming, but he's gonna be walking in place while he does it. I'm gonna make it challenging.
no, seriously, that's why I got the VR. I want to get the whole tracking like system for it, so that way it actually tracks that.
Yeah, the
movement.
whole setup where it's like a treadmill and it holds you in the spot so you can walk like any direction.
You can like freely move and everything. They have a full setup for it, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I definitely want to get like into that because like one, that'd be some great exercise, but like it would really help with the motion sickness of that virtual reality. Because when you're just playing the virtual reality or the reality and you're not moving or anything, like your body isn't physically moving, but that sensor in your fucking head, that equilibrium is just going off because it's triggering the fact that you are moving, but you're not.
Well, as you get older, it's worse.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think back to that, you know, when I remember being like a teenager, or even like my 20s, and I loved roller coasters and rides at the fair and spinning around in circles and things like that. And now, seriously, I get up too fast and I'm like, whoa, you know, definitely.
I had a baby and that instantly happened for me. I was just like, yep, no, I can't even stand up too fast.
Yeah, and it's crazy, you know, and so, one of the things I've been looking at actually doing like an affiliate for, I'm just waiting to hear from them, but there's that Stealth company. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but that's like that little game board that you literally stick like your phone in and then you like balance, so you do planks and stuff on it, but you're like playing a game on it. It's like super cool. And they're not really, they're about $100 to get one. So, but it's that thing where I'm kind of like, maybe I can become an affiliate and get a really good discount kind of thing. But you know, there's also with the gaming, there's so many things, you know, Pokemon Go, when that came out, I remember how impressed I was, not by Pokemon, but by the fact that this company had come up with a way to kids out walking, you know. And I just remember being like, hey, that's a great idea. And Wii, I think, was one of the first ones to come out with like their Wii Fit, you know, where they had that. And now PlayStation, Xbox, everybody's picked up some kind of fitness sort of thing that you can do as a game. So even though you're at home in front of your TV, you're still gaming, you're moving, you're exercising.
Right.
Just Dance was my shit for that. I could play that forever.
My cat's going insane, sorry.
Like, what is going on?
I have a whole nother burrito.
So, Allie asks,
That's my problem.
how many days out of the week do you exercise?
3 or 4. It really depends, honestly, also on what time of year it is. This is kind of something that I've talked to a lot of people about recently. I suffer from seasonal depression, and a lot of people do. And so when it's wintertime and it's, you know, 5 a.m. and it's cold and dark, I don't want to get up and go out to the gym and work out. It's cold and dark. I have absolutely no interest in doing that. And so during that time of the year, I've had to do multiple different things to make sure I can, for one, get up at the right time, including my alarm clock actually is one of those like sunlights now. So like it lights up and it looks like the sun basically. So my room lights up like the sun's coming up. That's been super helpful. And sorry, I'm like, the cat is behind me freaking out. Anyways, and so
fast as fuck.
yeah, I've done that, and then also in the sense of just finding different times to work out. You know, maybe doing it in the evening or during lunch hour or something like that to make sure I'm still getting my workouts in. But you know, maybe not at 5:30 in the morning like normally. And so it really depends. But yeah, it's 3 to 4 times at least. Sometimes 5 if I'm feeling it.
Yeah. So, like, do you feel like that break is important though? Like,
Yes.
like that taking a rest is. But like, what would you say like max and minimum would be like?
So minimum, I'd say like 3 days, max 2 weeks. And honestly, that will really depend on what your goal is and like how much you have to lose. You know, if you're a bigger person and you're, you know, sitting there, you have quite a bit of body fat and you need to lose 50 pounds or more, taking 2 weeks off is probably not a good idea. If you're 10 to 20 pounds or something, 2 weeks is fine. You'll be fine. You'll be able to you know, you won't lose anything during that 2 weeks you've taken off, but you'll just kind of just maintain. And that's fine because it gives our body that chance to just break and like relax and not get in our head about, oh, I should be working out and what am I eating and all of that. So it's not just a workout, it's the break of everything, you know. And so sometimes our brain, sometimes our whole body just really needs that downtime to just try to like relax and refresh, and then you start back up and it's, you know, ready to go.
Right. So, like, what would you like recommend doing on that break though? Like, to basically like help kind of like keep yourself in check, but to like, you know, still be relaxed and like, you know, maybe like do something.
Well, I mean, at the same time, as long as you're doing something on your days off too, just doing chores around the house and walking, I'm sure probably helps keep everything flowing, but build the muscle at the same time.
Yeah, it really does. During that time, honestly, what I kind of recommend to people is, you know, obviously be mindful of what you're doing. Don't sit down and eat a bag of cookies, you know, I mean, you know better than that. But if you eat 3 cookies, also don't beat yourself up over it. Like, you have some cookies. Woohoo, cookies are delicious. Have those cookies. It's not a big deal. There's a difference between eating a few cookies and eating bags of cookies every day, you know. And so during that time, I kind of just tell people, like, be mindful of what you're doing and what, you know, what you're eating, but also don't put too much thought into it, because if you're putting too much thought into it, then your mind health isn't doing very good and you're not really relaxing. As for workouts, usually I'll tell people, like, you know, don't do any workouts during this time. If, you know, you're kind of feeling like you need something, because what I do find sometimes is people get restless. You know, they'll take 1 or 2 days and relax, and then they start to be like, I have to do something. I can't do this anymore. And so at that point, you know, you can either get back on track, or you could, you know, add some things in. I'm always, you know, I mention to people a lot that you can always find time to like get little workouts in and stuff. Seriously, like cleaning your house, work out while you do it. And like, you know, I read about a lady the other day who she does like squats when she picked like her kids' toys. You know, if you're picking up 500 Legos, that's a lot of squat. You know, so there's always something that can be done there. You know,
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that's just like a squat.
I
per
just need to start
Lego.
doing that with my child.
yeah.
Like, that's just
However,
Well,
you're gonna feel
I
it.
have started doing that now when I pick her up. When I pick the baby up, I squat down to pick her up, and I'm just like, I need something.
See, I use my children to lift, like, I lift them like weights. Like, I just kind of throw them around. And, you
Yep,
know,
I've
like-
started raising her up.
But I'll do it for like a half an hour to like an hour. Like, and they love it.
Maybe I should.
I don't know, I've never really had to worry
squats
about
instead of-
anything because I've never really gained weight. But
What were you saying?
I said maybe I should start doing the squats instead of bending over, because I realized I've been hurting my back a lot picking the kids up, just bending over like that.
Yeah.
And doing the exact same thing at work. Maybe I should start actually doing squats instead.
Right.
That might help.
Yeah,
that's how
mess
you're
with your
supposed to
legs.
pick up a
Especially as the kids get bigger and heavier. Yeah, you definitely want to, you know, not have to worry about that.
What's funny is her phone's still lagging, but because now she's sitting next to me, she's now using my mic to talk. Like,
Oh, okay.
Because then I'm listening to myself twice. Because I'm hearing myself while also hearing myself.
that's a
Right. I can see
consequence
that.
you have to accept, I guess. Like,
It makes it hard to concentrate when I talk.
excuse me. Oh lordy. The next question was, out of everything you've done throughout your career, what is your proudest moment?
Hard. There's a few of them. I graduated with my bachelor's. That was, I think, pretty big for me. Having, you know, I was very proud of that. I only went to school because I wanted to be a better writer, so I kind of feel like the two really go hand in hand. That's probably that. You know, the dedicating myself to actually publishing. You know, losing the weight myself. You know, I mean, I didn't. You know, I've had to work really hard to get here, so
Is your proudest
Understandable.
moment this moment?
Be-
Every
Right.
Yes.
accomplished-
being on the podcast.
Yes.
No, just like honestly though, like if you can't really think of like one specific time that's like your proudest moment, then it's probably your current moment. Thinking of just everything being your proudest moment.
Yeah, like it all kind of leads up and stuff. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. This question is from Sarah. How did you come up with the idea to have a career in fitness and be an author?
So the author thing came first. They were not connected at all. I actually started with writing about relationships. I was, I try to stick with things that I know about and things that, I'm good at and everything. And giving advice has always been something I've been just able to do. And so, I started writing about relationships, like the relationship we have with ourselves, with our spouses, our partners, and I did that. And then I kind of got burnt out on it, I guess, in that fact of realizing that I started getting, I think, people coming to me for advice, but it kind of just turned into this constant, he doesn't love me kind of thing. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't fix your relationship here, and I'm not a therapist. So I kind of decided I was really struggling that, and I started traveling a lot, and I loved it. And one of the things that I have learned basically throughout my life is that I most of my adult life not really having much money. And so my oldest kids now, when they were younger, traveling, that wasn't something we did. It was not even an option. I think we went a couple places a few times, and it would take me tons of saving and budgeting and learning how to do all of that. So we could go to one place, the Enchanted Forest for a day kind of thing, or to the zoo. And as I got older, I just picked up so many more tips on traveling, and mostly from mistakes I made. And it really was kind of coming, like my best friend was telling me, my husband would tell me, you should write about this. Like, other people could really benefit from all of these, tips on how to save so they could travel too. And so I kind of stopped writing about relationships, and I started writing about budget travel, which I loved because I got to travel more and learn more and everything. And then COVID hit. And all of a sudden I couldn't do anything. I couldn't travel. I could write about traveling, and people got mad because they couldn't go anywhere. So they didn't want to hear about traveling either. And so during COVID, one of the books I wrote was a children's workbook for when, kind of like a journal workbook that they have when they're traveling. And so they could write down everything, play games so they're not on electronics and stuff. And I loved it. And even that, it kind of flopped, because nobody was going anywhere. And I find it kind of was trying to figure out what to do with that. And at this point, so it's been a year now, I had started a fitness group with my husband, just for fun, for friends to join. And basically kind of help keep me motivated, but also to help people, teach some of the stuff I had learned and he had learned that, we did not to lose weight. And I loved it. I had so much fun with it that I eventually was like, I wonder if I could find a way to combine these two, and I was still planning on doing the traveling thing and trying to do both. But right around the time I finished school, I realized I can't do both. I have to pick one. And I realized that fitness, I enjoyed it so much more. I love the idea of helping people. And honestly, it's been really, fulfilling. Yesterday I delivered 2 of the planners that I've sold to these women who have been, kind of following me for a while, and they've started losing weight. And it's really amazing to these women. They're just so excited to be able to talk to me, and they're just thank you so much for all of your help. And that's an amazing feeling to know that I'm helping these people be healthy and live longer, and so yeah. So author came first, fitness came later. And now they're together.
That's the way to do it.
So the next question was, how long on average do you exercise a day?
At least 30 minutes. And I would never, okay. I was just saying I wouldn't recommend anything less. That's actually a lie. 30 minutes is a good workout, especially if you're kind of just, going back and forth, maybe some strength training, some cardio. 30 minutes is a good way to go. If you're needing something where you're like, I still need to work out, but I've got like 10 minutes, I'm really big into the 5 and 10 minute like HIIT workouts. I even make little cards and stuff, and that basically have like the workouts that you can do. It's extremely intense, and you kind of feel like you're going to die at the end of that 5 or 10 minutes, but that's the point. You've got to be able to take the time you have and get something in there.
I mean, I like,
so 30 minutes.
So. 30 minutes. I might definitely have 30.
So 30
I have like
minutes,
no excuse now not
60.
to work out.
That's kind of been my thing and stuff, is like this year especially. That's like my big saying is be stronger than your excuses. That's actually what my planner is called.
Yeah.
Be stronger than your excuses.
Yeah.
And my shirts, I have my fitness shirts say the same thing. And it's kind of that thing, because we all have excuses. It's very easy to go, I'm not going to work out because of this. I'm not going to eat right because, this tastes too good or whatever. There's always a reason to not do it. So it's that, stop making excuses and find why you need to do it, and, do it.
Right. So if you guys want to find Amanda Jordan, you can go follow me on Twitter. Go check out my Facebook. All links will be posted there. You'll be able to find all of your stuff there. If you guys want to figure out how you can get connected with this, if anybody's looking for any kind of educational on fitness or anything like that, pretty sure you could message her. She'll help you out. And so definitely go check that out. Like I said, keep up with her links and everything like that. I'll be posting all of that later tonight and tomorrow morning. So that's it for all of the questions. So now's the portion of the podcast where we all just kind of sit back, hang out, discuss our little topics that we got going on, and just have a good time. So our topic for today is we are discussing the pros and cons of the combinations of fitness and marijuana. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, you guys can ask them down below in the chat, and we will answer any questions you guys got. Sarah's gone.
I was still curious on who's your favorite author and what's your favorite book?
So my favorite author, her name is Brenda Hyatt. And the first book I ever read by her is called Bridge Over Time. Still probably one of my favorite books till this day. And stuff is really cool. Like, seriously, like, I recommend it to anybody and stuff. But yeah, it's about this woman who's in her 20s, and she ends up going and, like, she goes back home to, like, visit, like, her mom and stuff like that, who's, like, in this very old house that's been passed down to many generations to her family. And she walked by this mirror, and she's transported back to, like, the 1820s. And when that happens, basically her, like, great-great-great-great-grandma is transported from the 1820s into the 1900s. And so they start living, like, having to try to figure out how to get back, to their own time. But then in the meantime, everybody thinks that they're the other person. So they're having to kind of live that person's life. And it's just super interesting. And I just loved it, but I think I've always kind of really had that for, like, at a different time that before I was around, and just kind of interested in that. So yeah, so that's my favorite book. And she's actually the author that I contacted. Say that again.
Oh, I said I'll definitely have to read it. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
It kind of reminds me of this
Scoot in a little bit.
It's super windy over here, so cutting out pretty bad with our Wi-Fi.
Is it windy over there?
Yeah,
It's actually kind of
super
sunny down
windy.
here.
This way. Yeah.
Oh.
I heard some.
that explains it.
I can't remember what the book is.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not like, no, you must remember.
Excuse me.
I definitely think.
So you wanted to talk about the
numbers.
pros and cons.
That's what I was going for, but go ahead. Well, I'm like, you just keep asking questions, so I'm just waiting for you to get done.
What was the question? Sorry.
I don't know. I'm like,
I was saying that you should definitely try reading. I'm gonna take these out while I talk so I can understand myself. You should definitely try reading the book Numbers. I think I was telling you about it one day. It's by Rachel Ward, and she looks into your eyes and can see the date of when you're gonna die. And it's just like
Yes, you did tell me about that.
like, interesting.
And so, yeah, I keep meaning to check it out. Unfortunately, I don't always get a lot of time for personal reading. I've been trying to work on that a little bit myself, like going, maybe I have too much screen time. I need to read more.
You should definitely message me that book that you're talking about so I can look it up later.
Yeah, I will.
alright, so, pros and cons of fitness and smoking weed. So, you were saying something earlier about, you had a topic about edibles? Edibles and
Yeah, I was thinking I'll write an article about it tomorrow and post it on my website. It's just I've been doing a little bit more research on edibles because there's always the big question, like, can edibles be healthy and all of that? And so yeah, I've been kind of looking into that and everything. And yeah, edibles can definitely be healthy. You know, they put, this stuff in there. There's so many different things now, from like, protein powders and chocolates and all sorts of things, and so basically and stuff, as long as you kind of stay away from like all that like artificial stuff, those extra sweeteners and things that you just don't want to have anyways, yeah, they can definitely be healthy.
You can make actual meals,
So
edible meals. So
I used to make medicated steak like all the time. Like,
I
Yeah,
want
see
to
right
make
there, that's great
medicated
protein.
Italian chicken.
awesome.
yeah, it's just making your own butter and everything like that. Like, because you can make homemade butter like no problem in a crock pot. Like,
Right.
and so once you make that butter though, like you can use it on anything, really, anything that requires butter. And if you don't want to use butter, like if you don't want to use that fat, you can always go with infusing an oil, like a vegetable oil or an olive oil,
Well,
or
yeah, I could make the Italian sauce that I use for the Italian chicken, and I could make that infused because it bakes in it.
yeah, but you don't want to leave like weed in your meal. Like that's normally
yeah, I
why
know, I
you
would
would
strain
infuse it. You infuse it first and then just cook with whatever you've infused.
Yeah.
Because then you can actually have a controlled substance, and then you'll know exactly how much you're using, how much product is in it. You'll know milligrams. You'll know all of that. You'll get a really like exact like number for how much you're using. So if you're wanting a really potent edible meal, you can put quite a bit in there, even increase the dosage, or you can even just lower the dosage, just use a small amount. Say you're doing like a pan-seared steak, and you don't want it like super medicated, so you just put a little bit of oil, just enough to coat the pan, and then it will cook in its own fat and all of that, all this juice, which is what gives it its flavor. And then you just let it cook in that with that light little covering of the pan, and just let it cook like that. The weed, like from the oil, will infuse itself into the meat, so that way when you do eat it, you do get a little bit of a buzz off of it, but not like that one to put you in a coma. Like,
Right. For real.
Well, and then actually, I was going to say that
Really.
okay, continue.
I was going to say that's actually what you said is actually really good, because that the only problem that does come from having edibles is that, when you eat an edible and stuff, that THC, it automatically it absorbs into your bloodstream. And, the problem with that is that versus smoking it, where it's like an instant thing, is that it takes time for your body to have that effect from it. And so much goes into that, depending on how much you've had and what you've had in your body, So you have to think that THC basically is absorbing your bloodstream and your intestines, just like food does, just like sugar does, just like, all of that. So if you just eat an extremely big meal, and then you go and let's say you have a little gummy bear, it might be an hour or two before you even feel that. And so a lot of times what happens with edibles, and this is honestly the only kind of downside that really comes with, edibles, is sometimes people get impatient. They go, this isn't working, and they start eating more.
Right.
And, or in that sense, like, I seen people who really love their chocolate or their sugar, and still they'll eat a bite or two of, like, a marijuana brownie, and then they'll go back and have a little bit more of it, and then they'll go back and next day they finish the brownie, and 3 hours later they're panicking and they're freaking out and they're kind of overdosing and they're getting sick,
Right.
because it's just too much. And so, I mean, one thing that is nice about the edibles is that, if you're doing the THC, all the stuff that's going in your body is natural. So the worst case really is that you're just going to get a little paranoid and you're going to get sick, and your body's going to start to try to get that out and reject it because it's too much.
Right.
So you're not
Totally
going to be laying on the
done
floor convulsing or anything, but you're going to feel horrible with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely that thing, but knowing how much of it is in there is really good, because then you can, that's really the biggest thing, is make sure that, your edibles are coming from somebody that you trust. And the more you know about it, the better. It's that same thing you're talking about, you're putting it in butter and then you're making whatever it is you're making,
Yeah.
and stuff. That's really good, because it's something you're already putting there. It's something natural. You're not adding a bunch of like sweet and low in there to try to make it taste good or,
Yeah.
anything
Well,
like
the
that.
thing is, too, is like when you make it, like when you're the person making it, because anybody can do it. I mean, it really is. Like, anybody can really make butter. It's not that hard. It's literally you get pot, you get butter, you combine the two, and you just let it simmer for a really long time, but not too hot to where it burns the butter. Like, you're literally just infusing it. That's what you're doing. You do the same thing with oil. When you cook it in oil, you're pretty much frying your weed, but you're not frying it. Because you know how, like, you can deep fry, right? That's not what you're trying to do when you're trying to make infused oil. When you're making infused oil, you want it on like a warm, like not even boiling, like not even sizzling, nothing. You just want it on like a warm, just, I'd probably say maybe like 90 degrees, like 90 to 100 degrees, and just let it just sit there and cook for like an hour, 2 hours, and just let that oil, absorb that weed, all that THC, all the CBD. Because the thing is when you're looking for an edible, you're not looking for the THC. Like, if you are looking for the THC in an edible, you might as well just smoke it. Like, because you're not really gonna get, like, you will
Right.
get that head high off of an edible, but the CBD is what will affect you. The CBD is what gives you that relaxation, your body relaxation. THC is all headspace. So as soon as that THC, you smoke it and everything, granted. It almost went out. I had to stop it. Anyways. But yeah, like when you smoke it, all that THC, yeah, you were right. Like, it gets into your bloodstream. And as it's going through your bloodstream, that's what gives you that, very like, whoo, like I'm fucking high. But when you eat an edible, it's that couch lock effect. Like, your body is just so relaxed that you're like, I don't know what to do. Oh God, what is happening? And you're just kind of stuck there, and you're like, what's going on? And you don't know, and you're like, your mind can't comprehend, because you're like, I'm telling my arm to move, but it's only moving like 2 inches. What's happening? Like, And it's just because you're so high that your body just can't handle it. Which is why you got to make sure you measure your doses. Like, make sure, like, you know, if you're buying it from a dispo, keep an eye on how much THC, how much CBD is in it. Because that'll let you know on, you know, how effective and how potent it will be. If you're not looking to get too fucked up, you're going to look for a low dosage with, you know, a low amount, or a low percentage of CBD, THC, THCA, CBDA. You're gonna look for those low percentages because you're just looking for a buzz. You're not looking for you're looking for more of the medicinal effect than you are the recreational effect. Like, this one out.
Well, and that's the thing too with the edibles is, like, personally, you know, that I would recommend, you know, if somebody's struggling with like high anxiety, ADHD, trouble sleeping, insomnia, edibles can be really good for that. Seriously, like, you know, once you know what your limit is and like what you can handle, then, you know, it's good to have that, do a meditation, you know, lay down, get ready for bed kind of thing. And, you know, you can get a really good night's sleep and be completely relaxed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where a lot of people mess up, is because they'll get an edible and, you know, it could be middle of the day. They're like, I'm gonna eat it right now. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you don't have, like, just let me know. You got plans for the rest of the day? Yeah? Well, then don't eat that fucking edible.
Now,
Like, I'm like, no, just take it and just wait. Just wait till, you know, you don't have any plans for the next couple hours. Like, that's
so I mean, you know, personally, like, I would say edibles are probably the better way to go, you know, if you're wanting to kind of get that body high, I guess, you know, that relaxation completely of being able to kind of just de-stress and let things go, which we all need to do. So, you know, it really, like I said, it kind of just comes to that, what your limit is and monitoring that.
Right, knowing your limit. Which is funny because one of the tags for this is no limit. So I don't think the tag is quite fitting, but it's there.
No, it's not. There is no such thing as no limit. How about that?
But yeah.
Well, I mean, technically you get a tolerance after a while, so you do kind of reach a point where you don't feel like it does much for you anymore. Like, I have to take breaks when I smoke.
Yeah, but even then, you know your limit.
Can't.
Like, you're learning where your limit is. That's what a tolerance is when you start noticing that tolerance, that's when you're learning what, like, you know, where your limit is. Because then you start smoking beyond that, because, you know, you're not getting high off that original amount anymore. So now you're like, okay, so instead of smoking 1 bowl today, I need to smoke 2, and then it goes from smoking 2 because it's not getting you high enough to 3, and that's where you're learning where your limits are on how high you're getting. That's literally what it is. That's knowing.
But if you think about it, that's kind of the same. That's the same thing with everything. You know, not just marijuana. It's the same thing. Look at, since we're talking about fitness and everything, food is a big one. You know, today maybe I can only eat 1 piece of pizza, but tomorrow I can eat 2, and then I can eat 3, and next thing you know, you've eaten an entire pizza and you weigh 300 pounds. You know, it's that same thing of knowing what that limit is. And Allie, you can get that look, but hey, I was there. Like, I was that person who was like dumbing up pizza.
She's like, I ate 2 slices.
I just don't know my limit.
Hey,
I ate
am
2
proud of myself.
Yeah, but you need it though. Like.
Yeah.
And I was eating garlic nuts.
I know. I had that Wendy's burger on the way home. That was it. I had my French fries on the way there. I didn't want them to get cold. Cold fries are the worst. I don't give a fuck who you are.
They're horrible, yeah.
like cold fries are the worst.
See, now I want a taco though. like we need tacos.
I like homemade tacos though more than I like other tacos.
That's what I'm saying.
See, we use ground turkey.
Carne asada.
Yep. I love asada. Yeah.
Oh my god, carne asada.
But I like steak, so. No.
Like,
So good.
So I could say one con about marijuana is the smoking it thing. And honestly, I would say that about anything you smoke. You know, when you ingest something like that into your lungs, it's not good. And you end up with things like asthma or emphysema. So that is one bad thing about this, you know, about it, if I guess how you're ingesting it kind of thing.
Right.
As I say to all three of you smoking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just got done smoking a joint. Yeah. No, like.
I'm
Yeah.
currently eating.
But I mean, I think the thing is like we know that it's not good, but we're still making the decision to do said decision. So I ain't worried about it.
But we're doing it safely.
But that really is just, I mean, that's just, honestly, that's life, is that making that decision, you know, of, it's like, yeah, I'm going to do this or anything, you know. For me, like, it's a little different, just because I spent the last few years, you know, getting healthy and making all of these choices and just kind of looking at the choices I'd made before. And so that thing is like, I'm offered all the time, you know, hey, you want to smoke a joint? Do you want to smoke some weed with me? And I'm always like, why do I have to smoke it? Because that's unhealthy for me. I don't want to smoke it. I don't have a problem with the weed part. It's the smoking part.
But see,
Can I drink it? Like,
you get an edible though, and then you're like, yeah, I'll eat it, and then you like hide it away, and then you forget about it.
yeah, because I had one of your candies. That was the last edible I had, and almost made myself sick because I forgot that that's what it was, and I was watching TV
I
eating
told
this like
you-
cinnamon candy.
I told you to eat it in small amounts. Like.
Yeah, I was bored. Yes. But then I was watching TV and I forgot it was yummy.
Yeah, I know. Dad completely forgot and ate like the whole thing, and then he called me and he was like, "These are amazing," and I was like, "Yeah, they are. You ate a whole thing, didn't you?" He's like, "Yup." I'm like, "Oh, have fun with that." I'm like,
How did
I don't know what he gets around you, and then he's like, "Let me drink 4 glasses of scotch. Let me eat this entire edible." You know.
look, I was drinking
And I
this.
That's how we got off the
I was-
other podcast.
I was drinking this, okay, when we did the last podcast, and I only had like 5 of these, alright? And I was still perfectly fine to do the podcast. Like, it's not my fault he went, I'm going to have Crown and have 5 glasses of
I
it.
watched it, and it was funny. Like, it started great, but like, yeah, around the half an hour to 40-minute mark, he started slurring a little bit, and then it started eyes to get all beady, and by the end of it, he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Oh my god, babe."
He even just said, he was like, I have to stop now, so I need to go to bed.
No, we enjoyed
Oh
it.
yeah, and
Okay,
he was
you know,
miserable for hours.
It was great. It was great. It was so funny. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
I couldn't believe it when I watched it. I just was like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah. Hey, but I mean, that's what the podcast is for. That's what our podcast is here. Like, you know, we're all here to just hang out, have a good time, relax, chill.
Be sick later. Yeah.
Hey, I don't get sick later. Like, I just get sick in the morning.
No, he was sick later.
Like, I've been really good about that. Like, not drinking so much to where I make myself sick. Like, I just don't feel the
Well, I mean,
greatest
I
next
just
morning.
don't really get a hangover anymore. Like, I don't get hangovers. I drink Jaeger as a regular drink all the time. Well, I don't drink all the time, but at the same time, I have a baby, so I don't
Nope.
really drink enough on a regular.
Can't do Jaeger. It's just hot. Like,
I could do it if I don't think I probably couldn't do it now, but I could do it with like Red Bull. Something to chase
Yeah,
it with.
I love that. I can take straight Jaeger shots, though. It tastes like vanilla to me.
see, that's
It's
the one
bad.
thing. That's one thing I like. Like, I'm not a big fan of energy drinks. Like, I mean, you drink 12 Monsters in a couple hours, it will do that to you. But like, when
What are you talking
Make your
about? I
heart
don't know what you're
explode.
talking about. I run on soda and energy drink.
I know you do.
Speaking of,
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
cheers.
Like, I can't do energy drinks. Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar. Like, none of those.
I don't like Rockstar.
The only Monster drink I can do is the
Is it like the coffee
Irish
one?
blend. It's the Irish blend Monster. which is the Irish coffee.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I just I keep muting my mic.
He's gonna secretly throw up off camera.
I only had 2.
I used to drink Red Bull like crazy. I loved it.
The only reason I'm burpy is just because I'm drinking beer. Like, it's
Oh,
bubbly.
I'm sorry if you hear my child screaming. She's very vocal lately.
Okay, it's very cute.
Try and mute.
Oh,
I gave my granddaughter a bunch of sugar. She's running around the living room naked right now. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm kidding. I was waiting for that. Like,
I was
wait,
gonna
what?
say,
No. I gave her some chocolate milk, but the only sugar I gave her.
That's it. We're switching to strawberry milk.
Well,
If she's jumping all over the walls because of chocolate milk, we're
I
taking
know.
actual strawberries. We're juicing those bitches.
so another con that, well, so it's a pro and a con. I found it, like, so before we started and everything, I did a quick little look up. I don't remember how I was like, oh yeah, this is stuff I already know. So the thing is that a lot of people complain about when they smoke weed, they lose the motivation to exercise because they're high, right? And
Oh, right.
So, and I mean, it's true to an extent, because the thing is that if you smoke a sativa, yeah, you're gonna be really, like, you know, relaxed, laid back. You just don't want to do anything like this. A sativa is what you want to smoke at like night, like, or when you're trying to
Right.
relax, rest. What?
Indica?
No.
You said,
I thought sativa was on
but I don't know.
Wait.
No matter what I smoke, indica or sativa, I just do things. You just watched me do chores, and I'm pretty sure I'm smoking an indica. And I started doing chores.
Indica was sleepy, hybrid is in between, and sativa is awake.
Hang on.
He's looking at his.
I thought the indica was, the sleepy one also. Are you looking it up?
I have my book.
Okay, good, because I'm really curious now, because I've always thought that too, so I'm like, am I wrong here? Like, because I know a lot of times, like, I'll pick, like, the indica stuff for your dad, because, like, he does it where he goes to sleep. And I'm always like, yeah, that's the one I think that makes you go, so maybe I'm doing the opposite.
Well, technically, they can still do the opposite for people. I'm weird. If I get something too high in CBD, I start having issues with my anxiety, so I have to do really high THC balanced things or equally balanced things.
Right.
Indicas kind of still bump me up. I still like to do chores. Sativas still keep me awake too, pretty much, but I really am not a fan of hybrids type of thing.
See, and then, like,
So I guess it just kind of depends on who you are.
Tagaro was saying that Anthony can't do sativas because they make him sick.
Right.
He smokes hybrids and like indicas typically.
Yeah. So I mean,
Right.
like everybody's different. It's kind of like the same brain chemistry and stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think too, maybe it probably depends also on, once again, like that limit thing. You know, if you go and you're getting yourself all like down out of your gourd, then you're not going to want to work out at all. You're going to be like night night, you know,
Right.
no matter what you're smoking.
Just
You know,
like a
but
type
yeah,
of-
I know some people who wake up and they're like, they'll smoke a little bit and that helps them kind of get going through their day. I would never be that person. I would not move. I'd be like, oh. But I know some
I'm that
people, like,
person.
I'm not a functioning, I can't smoke weed and function, basically, you know.
I
But some
wake
people
up super
can, and
early in
do
the
it.
morning. I wake up super early in the morning to babysit, so I'm up at like 4 o'clock every day, and I, smoke a little bit in the morning, and then I kind of progressively smoke throughout the day. I don't really like smoke tough until after I'm technically off work. And even then, I take care of a baby all day too, so. And I kind of just mosey along doing my chores and about my day.
Right.
Definitely don't have the haste, that's for
See, I
sure.
didn't-
Sativa strains are known as daytime strains because they are prone to providing an uplifting and energetic high. So yeah, you guys were right. Indicas, on the other hand, is considered nighttime. So I was wrong. that's the one thing is I always get fucking confused.
I'm
on
just
the two
glad I'm
of
not
those.
getting him the wrong thing.
That's the thing. I always get confused on the two, like the differences, because like, yeah, I don't know, just the way the words sound is what throws me off. I think there's some kind of
Right.
acronym
It just
to it.
sounds like something you breathe night night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Sleepy.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, but yeah, so when you smoke an indica, like that right there is gonna make you drowsy, and not want to really. Lack of motivation, pretty much, to work out, because you're like, yeah, that's a lot to do right now. I'm not down. Like, and so.
I'm going to stand up. What? Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but if you smoke a sativa, and like that's what a lot of daytime smokers, like, you know, that's what they use. I smoke sativa like all the fucking time because I smoke during the day, but I also have that kind of like personality to where it's like I can smoke either or and be okay. It's just I might be dragging a little bit more than if I was smoking the other kind. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty much what it is with me. I just kind of mosey along and do chores versus like actually huffing to it.
Yeah.
Going out.
See, one thing I have a pro to go with this.
Stretching.
just like you see yourself on the camera, you were like really far back.
I'm sorry, did you see my ribs because I'm so tiny?
You know, it's funny. I keep stretching, and I have my stupid like hernia belt thing on right now, but it's still healing. So I keep being like, "Why am I so puffy?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's that I have that stupid thing on." Forgetting. So a pro and stuff that kind of actually goes along is, you're actually kind of the perfect example for this. But for a long time, you know, you really struggled like with stomach issues and like not being able to eat hardly anything.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so once you started smoking, that was one of the things. You'd almost kind of get that munchy effect, you know, and not so much munchy, but like in that fact that you could actually finally eat something.
Yeah.
And
not feel
what you
sick.
did, I mean, you went from being like this scrawny like kid to actually a normal sized adult. You know?
Yeah, no, it was bad too. Cause,
I feel that one. I have to do that. I still have to do that.
It gets so rough. Like just like going to a restaurant. Like I can go to a restaurant now and eat without leftovers, which is nice. But like when I was a kid, yeah, no, I always had leftovers, and they'd always be for like the next day, like because I could eat that little bit
Yeah.
and be covered for the whole day, and like it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Like because it always
I've ran
felt
days
like I
off
was
like
hungry,
3 or 4 bites of something.
but it was just bleh. Like. Plus my immune
Yeah, you
system
take like
is
2
shit.
bites or something, and I'd be like, no.
But yeah.
He's a pro of, you know, people who struggle with like cancers and things like that. You know, weed has been a big thing to help with like that pain and just the sickness and everything and stuff like that. I mean, seriously, I think I was something I would recommend to anybody struggling with cancer. Not so much cancer, but the chemotherapy. That really is a big part of it, because
Right.
that's what's
Yeah.
killing you so fast. It's all that chemo and all of that radiation and stuff, just taking all of your good stuff in your body, and you know, it zaps it. It's horrible. So yeah, I definitely recommend it to anybody then, because I'm like, yeah, you're nauseous, you hurt, like, yeah, smoke some weed.
Right, like it's not gonna hurt nothing. Like get fucking blitzed.
Yeah, if you
Like-
have cancer, smoke some weed, you're fine.
Yeah. You're already
Yeah.
taking the radiation. You got this.
Get as blitzed as you possibly can.
Yeah, you're allowed to. They give you a card and everything. Dude, take advantage. Like they
Right.
get the good shit too. They get the really
Yeah.
good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they get hooked up.
I have a story about that actually.
Of-
I used to be a caregiver, and one of my clients grew and asked for like me to bring over Kyle and have him like transfer some plants and stuff. And dude, this guy was so cool. He was my favorite ever. And so we did that, and he just like sent me home like a pound. Wouldn't let me say no. I was like, I already get paid for coming and hanging out all day. Like, don't do this.
I think it's a good thing.
But
that
he
it
worked
cut
at
her off
Hanford
when
with
you
that
did.
radiation.
It literally blanked out the moment you said what you had gotten.
Yeah.
It said
Perfect.
one blank. And so we knew what you said, but like
Cool, that's all that needs to happen.
not enough to incriminate you though. So it worked out. Like
Well, it's not like they can now. It's been long enough that if they tried to, it wouldn't.
open
But yeah,
for
it was pretty
investigation.
cool.
I plead the fifth.
And it
Technically
was-
still
it was
not
super
allowed
cool.
to talk about home care.
If the podcast is shown in court, is that more publicity?
Good publicity, bad publicity, it's still publicity. Like oh shit. Rasta missed the raffle. I'll throw another one up, buddy. I got you. I have these the raffles that I have set up on my stream. Basically if people like type in !join, they get like 5,000 points if they win. And they can use it to play the lottery. Or no, it's roulette, slots, and dueling. So you can duel other players for points. You can play the slot machine.
I lose my shit all the time.
Or you can play roulette, which roulette is like a 50-50. But you can go all in and double your points though, so I mean...
Or lose them all.
Brandon's at, like,
I've
the
lost
top
my
right
points a lot doing that.
now. Brandon just lost 100 points.
What I was trying to say earlier, though,
Ooh.
was how you guys were talking about like the different effects of like that weed gives you and everything. I was gonna say it's kind of crazy how like the difference is in how I react to smoking now rather than how I react to it when I first started smoking, and then the difference between the middle of when I started smoking, in between. Because like when I first started smoking, like even like the time
I remember when you
I
couldn't
just
really
super
smoke.
messed up to the point where I'd be super like tired and like honestly I'd be freaking delusional. Like I'd get like
Yeah.
so high my body would just like I feel like I'd be seeing shit. Like I'd be sleeping but like I'd be awake. It was almost as if I went back into my sleepwalking phase that I had when I was like a child. And it was like weird. And then like halfway through like between then and now like it got better but it was like every time I'd smoke I'd still be super drowsy. I'd be sitting around and it was like I just couldn't focus on anything. And it's like now I can take like big dabs like all day long and like you know I'll be like super high but I'll still be able to walk around and do my normal daily routine without like feeling like super effective. Like every now and then obviously like if I take too big of a dab, yeah, I'll like want to just sit around for a little while and be zoned out. But you know that's if I like get too
Yeah.
aggressive. It's definitely interesting the time span and like depending on the amount that you smoke on how much it affects you like timeline wise.
Right.
So like if you were to actually
Well, sometimes it can be even what it is that you're smoking.
What?
I was saying, like, sometimes it could depend also on what you're smoking, and we were kind of talking about that, like with, you know, the indica or the sativa, everybody reacts differently. Some people can smoke all of them and still get the same reaction, and other people have to have specific ones. So, you know, you might find yourself reacting a little bit better to one versus another.
See, and I've never cared. I've never noticed like when I first started smoking, I just picked whatever depending on the name. That's always what I did. It was depending on the name. And then throughout the time of getting into smoking, it depended on like the potency, like how much THC and CBD is in it. And then now it's gotten to the point where it depends on like if it's sativa, hybrid, indica, and the percentage in it. Like now I consider like all the factors when I get the oil, rather than doing those little bits of things that like a non-smoker would do.
See, it's funny.
Yeah, when I go.
That they know so much now, because I remember being in like high school and the options was green bud and red bud. There was no there was no percentage, there was no name to it. It was like, you want the chronic shit or the, like, you know, the dirt weed. And it was
Yeah,
really like that,
right.
you know. And it was like, you get more if you get the crappy stuff.
Yeah.
Should we play the quick game of name a strain?
We can.
We've done it like the last like 3 streams.
Name the string.
I can't remember what I was
Ooh.
saying now.
You were talking about how like the effect of both of them. She was bringing up the fact of like 2 different types of weed. There was dirt weed and then, you know, the good shit. Is it gone? It's gone. Damn. I tried.
Sorry.
I tried to bring it back.
I have to go so hard, and I know it's right there, and I'll remember it later, but
It's gonna be after the stream's over, and she's gonna be like, "That's what it was." And you're like,
yeah, I'm gonna like
"Shit."
run up to him and I'm like, what the fuck?
She's gonna be like, "Start a stream up so I can say it."
Fucking root call those bitches
Just
right
call
now.
me, make sure I wake up.
All right.
I'll leave my volume on.
It's 4 in the morning, waking you guys up with a group call.
Hey, I'm already up at that time, so it would be perfectly fine with me.
I will not answer.
I will not answer. She says, "She's like, fuck out of here." No. Like,
Or I will answer and I will be like, if this is about weed, I'm going to kill you.
You can't kill me, can't get to me.
You're like, you better get your ass back in that motherfucking bed before I drive all the way over there.
I'm gonna
Right.
get text. Why is she up? You're like, I don't know.
Tie her down.
All right. So, name a strain. We'll start with left to right. So, starting with Amanda. Name a strain.
What am I naming?
A strain of weed.
Like a kind?
Yes, a kind
She
of
only
weed.
has
Also,
2.
for anybody watching, name a strain in chat. Look it up
Or
in the
think of
Bible.
something random.
We got it in the Bible here. My Bible.
What do you
my
think
cannabis
would be a
Bible.
strain name?
I'm trying to seriously, like, I see these things all the time, and now like it's taking me forever to like, you know, figure that out and be like, wait, what?
Whoa, everything shifted.
Whoa.
I know, now Sarah's up.
Sorry, I'm
there,
like-
I'm on top.
I just realized my phone was gonna like go into sleepy time. So, okay. Sorry. I was like, all of a sudden I knew it was like it's gonna lose everything.
All right. We're all stable. We're stable. Everything's fine. We're not moving anymore.
Mentally and physically.
Wow. Oh, Russ just said
I mean-
grape ape.
Ooh, that's
So I'll look up grape ape while you think of a strain. Okay.
I have it.
Pick 2 of your favorite
what is
things
that one?
you
That
like.
pineapple kush? Is that what it's called?
Pineapple Express.
Pineapple fish.
That might be what I'm thinking of. Seriously, like I see these and then like forget almost instantly because I don't smoke them. So I pick them out and then I'm like, get this one.
Grape ape. Grape ape. 'Cause
Pineapple Express is
Scott,
like
Godfather,
a really
God's Kid,
typical,
Koji,
like
grape. Fucking goddamn it.
a really main one.
I
Aha!
picked one the other day and it had a really cool name and that's why I was like, oh, what is that?
All right. So grape ape. Type indica hybrid. Lineage Afghani, skunk number 1. Smell/taste fruity, sour, earthy. Common effects mellow, lazy, and sleepy. Top medicinal uses pain and appetite. Grape ape is a star among the purple strains. Its dense nugs boast an ultra fruity bouquet, and the flavor is on point with a great bubblegum or Kool-Aid. This delicious strain is sure to please any nose and palate. Its looks can be vary slightly depending on the phenotype, from a green purple to all over purple, and can easily be confused with Granddaddy Perp. Although it may not be as crystal coated as GDP, it no doubt offers a strong, tranquil stone while leaving your head fog free and clear. And then this is the picture for it here. Focus in.
I've used that one as a really good night-night type of one. because I have to have like different strains, because some help me more with eating, some help me more with my baggage. We'll say that's a good sleep one for sure.
Okay, so what was the one you named? Pineapple Express?
Yes.
Okay. Pineapple?
It's bugging me because like I picked one the other day and it had a really cool name and now I can't remember.
Do you remember what it started with?
I want to look up
Same thing. I'll
Lottie
remember and
Dottie.
call you at 4 in the morning.
When did
Yes,
you buy
I
it?
will answer.
A couple days ago.
Go check the bag.
I have to get up and find the bag.
I mean, it's in there. I'm just saying, this way you won't have to, like, you know, remember it later. Great babe from Snowflake would mess me up every time.
Okay. I'll be back. Hold on.
I was gonna say, I know my dad has the bag somewhere over there. It's got the weed in there. Like,
I'm like, if you know the kind of like
Okay, I came back. I brought the bag.
I brought the bag. See, I told you there was a bag.
I did. Oh, this one is called Coffee Breath.
coffee.
What? Coffee
What?
breath? Oh, from Regulator.
I feel like
Alright.
that
Coffee
name
Breath.
is like a different form of a backhanded compliment. You hear the name and you're just like, oh, wait, what? Coffee.
Well, that
Oh,
is
that's
not
what
in
I-
here.
What? Did we find one that wasn't in there?
Well, you guys have to remember, this book is only up to date to, I think, 2017.
Ah,
So you try this one. It's called Durban Poison.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. If that was not in here, I'm gonna be pretty upset. No way. Because that one's a pretty common.
or Lottie Dottie or Dirty Girl. Those ones are.
Durban Poison. Boom, right here. Type sativa, lineage Landreths, South Africa. Alright. Smell / taste sweet, licorice, mint, and fruity. Common effects: euphoria, uplifting, creative. Top medicinal uses: stress, anxiety, and pain. It's won 2 awards: the Medical Cannabis Cup
Alexa,
and the
stop.
Cannabis Cup. Durban Poison is named after the South African port city of Durban, where it originated nearly 50 years ago. The wild-natured sativa is still one of the best pure sativas still being grown today. And for good reason. DP is a serious sativa that will instantly have your head sky high while leaving your body behind, with no body fatigue. Making this a perfect daytime toke. The Durban's deep colors and sticky tight appearance, coupled with its stimulating, long-lasting cerebral effects, give this legendary strain a distinct quality that lives up to its name. So
Alright.
that's Durban Poison. And we can show a picture of the nug right here.
That's pretty.
They don't really want to focus in because I feel like it's the light bouncing off the wall, but
Do you want to try out my phone?
maybe. Let's see how that looks. Other side. Yeah, that does.
Oh yeah, I
That
think it
works.
was a little light, but yeah. I don't know. I'll show you. This is that coffee breath I was telling you about. But can you see it? Like, it's really pretty.
Those look like some dense
Are
nuts.
those brown? Like brown hairs?
Kind of. It's like it's really a mixture of like the green and the brown, but it's really crystallized.
It's Sarah's turn.
Oh, well, that one. I want that one for my turn.
Okay, well then we'll hold on to that. And then after we're done, we'll look at the Jack Frost. Anybody who wants to look at a certain strain, make sure to let me know in the chat. We'll go ahead and look it up in my little book here, and we'll try to see if we can find it. So make sure to name your favorite strain.
Should do Dirty Girl.
Let's see if that one's opened. Dirty Harry. No. Dirty Harry is the only dirty one in here.
Lottie Dottie. Oh, I dropped you.
Smooth. do you spell Lottie Dottie? Is it L-A-U?
No. I'm pretty sure it's
I have no
I
idea.
think it's like LOTIDOTI.
It is not in here.
I don't know.
But LSD is in here apparently. But no, that one's not in here either. There's Do-Si-Do, but not Lottie Dottie.
Well, shoot. I don't know then. Somebody else can go.
Do you really not have a strain?
You should have like 3, but you couldn't find it.
Pick a random number.
She had 2! Alright, yeah, fine. Pick a random number. Hang on, let me look at what the pages are here. Okay, so alright, very last.
Or you could just keep
page.
flipping through the book until she says to stop.
Okay, so 26 through 346.
300 exactly.
300 exactly.
Yeah, like the Spartan movie, 300.
That's a good movie.
Shit, I went too far.
It is.
Well, it's in the S. Sour grape.
Ooh. That instantly reminds me of Sour D.
Type, hybrid. Lineage, grape, ape, and sour diesel. Smell/taste, grape, lemon, and fuel. Common effects, uplifted, cheerful, and body buzz. Top medicinal uses, nausea and anxiety. Award, medical cannabis cup. The appealing pasted purples and frosted oranges give sour grape an alluring bag appeal. The good looks are perfectly complemented by the complex sour grape sweetness of the aromas. The flavorful smoke is expansive and thick, hitting hard and fast. Sour grape's effects are a true hybrid of its parents, a balanced mix of energy and calm that soothe the body and boost the mind.
Yeah. Ooh.
Alright, what was yours?
It's
Quirkles? Allie picked Quirkle. Type, Indica Hybrid, Lineage, Urkel, and Space Queen. Smell/taste, grape, fruity, musty. Common effects, euphoria, relaxed and mellow. Top medicinal uses, stress and anxiety. Quirkle is an interesting hybrid that has 2 distinct phenotypes. One is a shorter purple indica bomb, while the other, shown here, more reminiscent of its Space Queen parent with a more balanced hybrid high. The smells and flavors are a sharp grape mixed with a dank fruity twist, making for a big hitting clean smoke. The effect is a mellow stony high that's a long lasting and not exhausting.
Ooh, that sounds
pretty good.
amazing, actually.
That is Quirkle, everybody.
Like, makes me want to find it now. We need to get some Quirkle.
Right?
Okay.
What, Quirkle? No, what now?
Rasta Jack Frost is not in here, but Jack Harrier and Jack the Ripper are.
Is there a Z?
Both are good.
That starts with a Z.
I don't. Yes. Skittles.
Oh,
We've
it
already
looks
done
so-
this one.
It looks so pretty, though.
We've done this one so many times.
Okay, but look at the picture.
Look at the picture.
We've done this, like, Skittles was, like, I think the first one Kyle picked, because he was like, what's the first page?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's, fucking, what is it? It's like Three
Is that the
Kings or
only Z
something.
one, though?
Yeah, Three Kings is the first one. And he was like, what's the last page? I was like, Skittles. Like,
Is there an A one?
Huh?
Is there an A1?
What do you mean? Is there an A1?
Like one that starts with an A?
Oh yeah, there's like a whole like category of A.
Oh really? What's the first and second A1?
First is Afghani. Second one is Afgoo.
Afgoo sounds cool. What's the one after that? First one's letdown.
It is Afrek. Not- it's backwards to you people, but it's AFWRECK. Like Afrek.
I really like that picture on the back of the book. I just now noticed it.
That sounds like the duck on crack. That Aflac duck.
Aflac.
Afrek. Like.
Oh my god. Ooh, that's pretty.
So what's the back of the book? Obviously.
Oof.
Well, all right. So, anyways, that wraps it up. Unless anybody has any strands they want looked up, bring them up in chat. We'll look them up. But other than that, we'll go ahead and get back to our topic on the fact of pros and cons. So far, we've come up with pros. It has been appetite. Jesus.
Which can be a bad thing also, I guess. It just depends on if you have, you know, stomach issues.
It depends on the appetite issue you have. Like,
Yeah. If you have an overeating problem, I wouldn't suggest smoking and then overeating.
no. And then, you know, controlled substances on how it can actually help you more than, you know, disable you. What the hell are you doing?
Look at that. Look how like pretty
Hmm?
that is.
And then, one of the cons was depending on the type of weed you smoke will depend on your motivation for working out. See, there's another pro we had in there too. I can't remember it. It was like the first one we had.
We talked about like the edibles, like helping with like anxiety, ADHD, helping you sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, the CBD and the THC effect.
Yeah.
You want to read chocolate
Oh.
nectar?
We were going to talk about how, like, the certain exercises you could do while being intoxicated off marijuana. Marijuana. Like while being high, like the basically not raise your heart rate too much, because you know.
Smoke the Death Star.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, you know, when you're looking at something that doesn't really raise your heart rate, then you're looking at kind of like a light cardio is the best way to go. You know, walking in place, lightly on the treadmill, you know, things like that. There's not a whole lot you can do that doesn't get your heart rate up when it comes to working out, because that's honestly the idea. That's how you lose weight. That's how you burn calories, is you get your heart rate up there, and that's what happens. And your body burns all that off. So if you're trying to not get it up there, you know, sometimes you're kind of running into that with older people as well. And yeah, you're kind of looking at something, like I said, like walking in place. Even those, what is that show? It's like for older people, but it's like Sit and Be Fit or something. And it's like all these old women, they like, oh my god, yeah, it's hilarious. It's on at like, I don't know, really early in the morning. And that's if it's still on. I'll have to like send you a link. It's funny, but it's like old lady sits in a chair and she shows you how to do like little workouts just while you sit in the chair. And so probably helps more with like the mobility and keeping your blood flowing, you know?
Right. So like, what
So
would
you
you
get all,
like? What would you recommend? Like basically, if you're more of not trying to, I guess, workout, but more of be active. Like, what are like some main activities you could do while being, stoned on, say, during like your break time or whatever, like. Because say you're one of those people who, doesn't smoke like during that time that they're working out because of, they don't want to overeat, or they just, want to make sure that they stay in the right mindset, or, whatever the excuse could be.
Respiratory issues?
Like, what would you recommend to do like during the break time if that's like their only, like, this is when I allow myself to like get high, smoke, whatever, eat edibles, I mean, I guess it depends on.
So are they still high during this time, or are they working out to not be high?
No, like, I'm just saying, like, so like during your, like, so say they were like having their break time, like not working out, like the couple days that they don't work out or whatever, and that's when they're like, okay, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna smoke, and then they turn around, but they don't want to, like, they want to find activities that they can still do that won't, like, basically fuck them up in the long run, kind of thing, like not getting their heart racing too fast, or just staying in that relaxed state but still doing something, like as in like an activity, like whether it be like yoga or like whatever.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Yoga is a really good one, especially if you are looking for more of that relaxation, that mind health type thing. Personally, I'm like that. I've done yoga where it's a really intense yoga and you're sweating profusely by the end of it, and I'm like out of breath. And to me, I'm like, this isn't relaxing. So, I look more at like the hatha yogas and stuff like that, where it's all stretching and it breathing and things like that. Those are really good. Meditations, even. A lot of people won't think of meditation as a workout, but it really helps because you're kind of detoxifying your brain and everything and getting that negative stuff out of your body, which is very healthy. That's a good thing to do. So yeah, I would say yoga, but yeah, sticking it with those like stretches and, very deep breathing and things like that. It's very relaxing. Those would be a really good thing. Going for a walk, you still want to stay active and stuff, if you're looking for something like that, you're not trying to get your heart rate up and stuff, but go down the block and come back, and stuff. Still keeps you active and everything, but you're not, you're more enjoying being out and getting that fresh air kind of thing versus the walking part of it. So yeah, those would be good ones, yoga, light walking, take your dog for a walk, stuff like that.
Right.
I'd rather go for a walk than do yoga, just because me personally, I don't, like, yoga's nice and it's like relaxing and everything, but I wouldn't want to do it on a regular basis just because I feel like it does nothing for me. Because I'm constantly stretching and twisting and turning throughout the day. It just feels the same to me, just slower, and like specific twists and turns, Like every
Then,
now and then it's not consistent.
It would probably be looking at like different types of yoga. Like I said, there's some yogas that are intense that you do for like 10 minutes, and by the time you're done, you're literally sweating profusely. It just really depends. I mean, there's so many different types of yoga out there that it's kind of finding the right one. Like I said, personally for me, I like the stretching ones. I like those because I struggle with like back pain and stuff like that. So the stretching really, really helps to be able to not deal with like lower back pain. In the fitness group, I've got a few other people who have back issues or like knee issues and things like that. It's all part of getting older. It's fun, and so a lot of times with that, obviously I'm not going to be like, oh, your knees hurt, run 3 miles on the treadmill, you've got this. They're going to be like, you've lost your mind, lady. So those are the type of people I would definitely mention the whole yoga thing, like the stretching type. But we're kind of talking about during that short break you're taking between your normal workouts and eating, right, you're just taking that break where you're not focused on any of that. Then if you're trying to just relax and have that downtime, yoga's a great one for that.
Right.
What about I think it's a great exercise and everything. I don't know if it would benefit a lot in like a lot of the like your daily exercises and everything, or even with like smoking and exercising, but we did it in track. It's kind of like the high knees, where you
have to do it, babe. Just explain it.
It's hard for me to explain. It's literally you, like,
But
you jump and you
I
lift one
try. I
leg
can
and
kind
then
of
do
see
it
what's
sideways
happening.
And then this way and then sideways again, but you jump while you do it. And it's like,
What
to
are
me,
they?
it's really like, what?
What are they?
It's, you
No,
do like,
no,
this.
just say what the name is.
I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like high knees.
It sounds exactly like how you
Like high knees, but you go
That,
front and
I
side
was
and
just,
then
that's what I was
reach,
gonna say. I'm not
and
sure
you
if
jog
that's what
while
I
you
would
do
have called it too.
it.
Which it's right there is a good workout, but the same thing. I think if you're trying to relax, you know, you're not wanting to
I
jump
think
up and
relaxing.
down.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Like, to
I
do
meant
it
for
during
her,
your
like,
relaxing
daily
time.
routine, if that would be something that would be helpful.
Oh yeah, it's definitely helpful. It's a good cardio, but you're kind of mixing your cardio and your strength training when you're doing that because, you know, your heart rate is up there, so you got your cardio because your legs are going crazy. But also in the same sense, you're tightening all those muscles, you know, in like your upper thighs and everything, and even your lower back. So you kind of get both, and those are always, you can't go wrong with those dual workouts there. So.
Well, damn, we are at 11 minutes left for the podcast.
And I'm not drunk and leaving.
What is your favorite workout routine? Like, out of all of your, like, workout things that you do, like, what is your favorite thing to do?
Well, I have a couple different ones. It kind of depends. That one of the things I like to do is like the dance workouts. Personally, just because I like to be able to like crank the music and just, you know, dance around and everything. That's really good. Other than that, I would probably be boxing is another one. I've been, you know, we got a punching bag, so you know I've been hitting that, and that I have a lot of fun with as well.
God,
And then probably some like. And then like some strength training. I really like that. I'm not much for one of the person, like, you know, I'll do some treadmill stuff, but I know people who will spend an hour on the treadmill working out, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so bored, you know, like they're taking forever. And then also I think knowing the benefits, cardio is always a good thing, but your best benefits come from strength training. It always is. You know, strength training, you can literally do 20 minutes of strength training. Your body will continue to burn those calories throughout the day. Versus cardio, you do 20 minutes of cardio, and once you're done, it's done. Like, you burned your calories during that 20 minutes. You know, so strength training is always the way to go. So I think mentally, I kind of have that same mindset. Like, I have to keep going if I really want to make that impact on this treadmill, versus I can go and lift some weights and I'm going to get a much better effect from that. Plus, you know, strength training also helps shape your body versus cardio. You just kind of lose the fat. And so I said, you guys have probably heard this before, but I've always said this, you know, if all you do is cardio, let's say you start out as the shape of a pear, do a bunch of cardio, you're a smaller pear. Do strength training, and it shapes your body, you know.
So kind of how you were saying earlier about, like, the hiking and everything. I love, like, hiking and, like, swimming. I think is really great. Like, I remember when I used to do swimming for high school, my legs, like, my body was super strong, super muscle. I was super healthy, super active. Like, the amount of, like, workouts and pressures they push on you, like, oh. But just swimming alone, my lungs strengthened so much, and I've always had a hard time breathing, and that helped a lot.
Swimming is a great one. Most people forget about swimming because they do it as something that's fun, and they forget that how much exercise they actually get. I do the same thing. I'll go swimming, and then later that night I'll be like, my God, I'm exhausted. You know? But you don't think about it because you had such a good time. You're like, I went swimming. The kids, we had so much fun, you know. And that's one of those workouts that I suggest. If you like swimming, yes, they're perfect workout for you. Go swimming, you know. And so yeah, hiking, I love hiking. Like I said, I went kayaking for the first time this last year, and I didn't know if I would like it, and I loved it. Now, granted, my arms were killing me by the end of it, you know.
How long did you go kayaking?
By the time that night, I was like, oh, limp, you know. But yeah, it's great. It's a great workout.
How long were you out there for?
Probably 40 minutes to an hour.
Damn. Yeah, if you if you go up to Tri-Cities, like if you go to Richland, like West Richland, right there, you hop off there, come all the way around towards like the bridge over there by like Welshie Way and all that. You can go all the way down that way,
The
and
Yamaha River.
yeah, it's straight. Like it takes like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours,
Oh, but it's so
to kayak.
relaxing.
and like yeah, by the time you're done, like,
I've never kayaked it, but I've floated it.
we went kayaking it.
Well, we
I
have
think,
kayaks
2
now.
years ago. Like 2 years ago, we went kayaking it, and that was yeah, that was something else. By the time we were done, like one of the people we were kayaking with lost a shoe, like lost quite a bit of stuff. None of my stuff got lost because nobody fucked with me. I literally had all of the important shit. So I had like the lunchbox and the speaker and all the cell phones in the waterproof lunchbox, and like I had all the important shit on me. So and I made sure to make like that I was the one to kayak that one, because I was like, I know these dumb fucks are gonna try to fuck with me. So I was like, if I pick the one that has all the important shit on it, everyone's gonna leave me alone. Like, and that's exactly what happened. I did not get fucked with that whole time because I had everybody's phone, the speaker, wallets. I had everything. Like, fuck with me. That
That's funny.
Yeah.
shit was great.
Yeah, we'll have you guys have just seriously, we're gonna do it a lot this summer. So we have 2 kayaks now, so we'll all go. And I just ordered the kayak racks today for the car, so you'll just have to meet up with us and we'll go kayak around.
See, I need to talk to
That'd be so great.
I need to talk to Mickey and find out where that camping spot was that we went to. And yeah, once I find that spot, we'll all have to go out there and like go camping, because like they've got the lake that's out there and everything like that, and like it's all like in the forest and everything like that. It's really nice. Like, and we took the kayaks out there too. The lake over there, like, it's so fun to kayak because it's all like fresh air and everything, because there's no like city or anything.
Right.
And so it's really nice. Like it looks really nice.
I like camping out in Port Angeles. It's super pretty.
Yeah, we went camping a few years ago over there by Forks, like right on the ocean and stuff. Caleb went, and Rex, sorry, on your little podcast, why I call you that, huh? And it was, yeah, like right there. I mean, seriously, like you woke up in the morning and it was like ocean. It was awesome.
Yeah, we went to Clay Lock. Is what the name
Yeah.
of that was. Because
Sarah's face is frozen and she looks
I remember correct names.
Yes, you were corrected later.
Yeah, that's true. I called it. What the hell did I call it? It was like the Calalock Lodge or some shit like
Calvin
that.
Lock or something. Yeah.
That was the thing, is every time I asked where the hell we were at, everybody pronounced it that way. I was like, oh, okay, that's I guess what we're calling it. Like,
No, we didn't know. We hadn't been there before. That's not right to be.
alright guys, so that's gonna about wrap it up for the podcast. So make sure to give me a follow at Rex_420 on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also make sure to check out my Discord in the About section. Also use my promo code Rex_420 at fadegrips.store. Get 20% off on your first purchase for analog stick grips, controller skins, and apparel. Thought my controller was right here, but it is not. Oh, no, it is. Ha ha ha! You can go pick up some stuff like this. Like I said, Rex_420 at fadegrips.store. 20% off. Go pick your stuff up there. Also, make sure to go to my website, rex420.com. Pick up some merch. We got shirts coming out. Some little tight shirts coming out. Definitely make sure to check those out. We got regular shirts for regular people. And we also got some stress balls coming out along with some stickers. Also, make sure to book an appointment if you guys need any graphics design, fashion design, anything like that done. You go there, book an appointment, we'll get you all set up, squared away. So, with that being said, definitely make sure to go drop Beautykiss a follow as well. You can find her in the little heart squared button in the top right corner of the chat box there. If you click on that, you'll be able to go follow everybody who's helped support the stream along the way. And a couple of them have been here tonight. Definitely go check them out. Also, make sure to go check out Amanda Jordan, check out her website. All of her links, like I said, they'll be posted on my Twitter and my Facebook tomorrow, so if you guys want to go check them out, you are more welcome to do so. And with that being said, guys, we will catch you guys in the next one.